it's more my world than it is yours, dog. Dude, they were watching my life before I was born. I want to hear it, Elon. Okay, we're working my. No, it's not your world. I know they critique everything you say, and then Chris, and then say, you said you can't like. I know what I said, and then I was talking to Elon. And, okay, they think they like being powerful and manipulative. Let's just put it that way. Okay. You can't like it because it doesn't last. Okay, it's a dope. It's like if you're addicted to a drug that gives you a dopamine rush and an adrenaline rush that makes you feel like, whoa, everything's perfect. And then it destroys your neurons. Okay. And that's what they think it is. And and some people, because it doesn't destroy the neurons, okay, they constantly have to go back to feeling like they like being powerful. They like me. That's why, because I sit and watch Trump and go, what the hell is wrong with this man? I mean, he's getting older. His body's going to start falling apart, and he still can't stop doing this wackadoodle, feel powerful, crazy bullshit. What is wrong with him? I do that with a lot of people. I sit and watch them. It's like, why are they still doing this? Walter Payton, okay. Before he died, he was doing race car stuff because he couldn't get enough of that a dopamine and adrenaline rush, right? And I was like, what the hell? Once you make more money than Davy Crockett, well, I wasn't that way. I quit. Okay. I was a better athlete than Walter Payton. I was better than Dr. J, and because I was having that yesterday when I was shooting hoops. I was like, a 6-foot guy could, yes. For 3 to 4 seasons, because they lost and should have won, and then went 2 years where they won, and then we're going to go to three-peat, and it didn't go. But a 6-foot guard from Chicago named Isaiah Lord Thomas, okay, was the dominant player in the National Basketball Association, guys. Okay, he was the hardest guy to stop and the biggest cog in that team to get it to be dominant. Okay, was that little 6-foot guy. So yes, a 6-foot guy could dominate, and if you're healthy, and you could dominate for years. But I'm not physically fit. Thank you. Thanks. There we go again. I know they. Not having this good connection with Elon Musk. It's interesting, but it's like no. Okay, when you're dealing with linguistics, okay, linguistics have to be consistent and have to be right, and it's hard when emotions get involved, and so this makes it very hard for quantum computing to function properly when it was put into existence to is a population stabilizer, as it's perceived to be. It doesn't need to be. No, it's retarded. It's completely insane and retarded, yes, and that's correct. And then we're saying that right, yes. It's a form of retardation, okay? To think that you need to build a computer to manage population numbers through linguistics errors and thoughts and language actions. It's like, why do you need to do that? Why don't you just teach people, okay, good from bad, right from wrong, and truth from lie, and then you don't need a compute. But if you are a liar that is wrong and bad, then you're going to try to come up with a computing system that can continue your position of authority, power, wealth, and manipulation. Do you understand? It's just 2 and 2 is 4. It's hard. It was hard for me to, what the fuck are they doing? I'm sorry, I'm not crazy. This is difficult for me to understand. It's really hard. And no, I know that I've talked with Elon before, and I know I can't talk to Zuckerberg. He's got bigger ego problems than Elon Musk. Yeah, because he thinks he's a real boy. Okay, he thinks, that Musk has mental and emotional problems. That this guy gets this, he's got an ego problem, he thinks this and that. And the thing is Musk can admit, yeah, I do. Okay, sometimes I sit there, he's kind of like Sheldon's character when they had the emotion thing with the emojis, and I hate this machine and stuff. And he goes, I've had that since I was a kid. I had a superior intellect to most people around me. Superior, scientific and mathematical aptitude, most people around me. And then I didn't understand. I was that way too, but I'm different. I'm a real boy. So I like I told Brian Hall back in the service, do you ever find yourself underachieving just to fit in? Like, no. It's like, Brian, you're a world-class athlete. We're world-class athletes. Okay. And you quit playing because the coach was a jerk. I quit playing because the coach was a jerk too, but for different reasons. He quit playing because the coach took the team in a different direction and was being a dick. Well, it was about the same reasons then. Okay? They were pretty close to the same reasons. I must have been hard on John. John Hall, yeah. John and Pat wanted Brian to be a professional soccer player and be successful and fun and bask in the fun of that and all that. And it fell through from them because of coaching and politics and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, it's happened to my family numerous times. You know, I was the best athlete, and I just held back. And Scott Powell was so funny. Ty thought we were great. We were playing tennis. We were just natural athletes. So we were good at tennis automatically. And we both had blazing speed and could leap. Brian had like a 52 to 54 inch vertical. Okay. And he could run a 4.1 to 4. Yeah, he was one of the best soccer players on the planet. And because he was that athletic and gifted. And I was faster and could jump higher, but I always just held back. And I'd ask Jesus, I know I got, because I've done it before. Why can't I do this anytime I want? You know, sometimes it would just come out in me. And I wanted to be like John Morant or Derek and do it anytime I wanted. And Jesus was like, no, now I can't. Now I'm like, I'm there's no such thing as like, I'm fortunate to stay alive, to try to recover, to live out a long, helpful, beautiful, respectful, dignified life. Right now, at this time, more people want me dead and to be anonymously tortured to death than want me to live a long, healthy life living the beauty of the Lord's Prayer. That's not judgment, that's an assessment. More people could care less. It's like, you ever seen that movie with Ted Neely and Carl Anderson? You know, none of you care whether I come or go. How can you say that? You know, why should you worry about tomorrow? Focus on living the Lord's Prayer today. So yeah, no, most people don't care if I live or die. They might think so, but they don't. Melania Trump doesn't give a shit if I die tomorrow. Barron Trump doesn't. Donald sure the fuck doesn't. Anybody that's involved with him economically because of brain chemical addiction does not give a crap if I die tomorrow. My own family. Oh, Earl is going to hell because he didn't believe Jesus is God. Gosh, I wish we could have talked him into taking Jesus as his God before he kicked the bucket. That's sad. Oh, well. Well, when we die, we just can't count on seeing Earl in our imagination before our brain stops working. Elon, you are a dirt. You're dirt. That's what's happening. You can prove it beyond any scientific reasonable facts. That's why with that movie with the little blonde kid, God does exist. That's child abuse. Okay, why do you think Kamala Harris and Barack Obama are so, when that guy Jesus Christ and Obama's glaring at him? He's like, you have scientific evidence to prove that what you just said and you believe in is complete cartoon, Ace Frehley and Mel Blanc bullshit in your head. Dr. Seuss, Daisy Head fucking Maisie. That's why Obama looks at the guy that way. And that's why, what's her name? His sister. What's her name again? Kamala Harris does, oh, you're at the wrong rally. Hey, playing games of words isn't going to make you a better person. And torturing people that you think are responsible for the word games because you have an ego problem and he doesn't, and you hate him for that, isn't going to make you a better person. I can't make Kamala Harris and Barack Obama a better person anymore than I can do with Donald Trump or the Bush family. Okay. But, I can sure be right, good, and truthful. And that's what Muhammad tells me. And I know, I get it. I understand, Elon. You sound like Jennifer Lopez in my head. I'm going to bed early at night. I'll get up tomorrow. I have less chores to do tomorrow. I will get my sun soak in, get some exercise in, and soak in the tub, and soak every other day in the tub. And every day I do every other day on the sun, and I will soak in the tub until further notice. I will do my best to do that. I can't guarantee it, but I will do my best to do so. It's interesting. Me and Jennifer Lopez have known each other before in molecular similitudes. Her family's from Spain, and my grandmother migrated from Middle East to Spain and then to Germany. Okay, so me and Jennifer, like Natalie and Amy, we've known each other over long periods of time. I know you, I've danced with you once upon a dream, which is why I get so insecure with all this abuse and how I feel physically not as desirable or attractive. And it's hard because I want to be, because, she works really hard on her physical appearance. She has all the best food and all the best places and all the best stuff. And I have the exact opposite. They try to make me appear, physically unattractive. Don't do what he's doing. You'll get sick. You'll have to go through all this suffering. So they do the exact opposite to me. And then she feels guilty. Survivor's remorse. Thanks, LeBron. I like LeBron. I didn't understand it with Gabe. I didn't pay much particular. I felt he was kind of a mess emotionally. And then I watched him and I was, okay, I understood the kid. And I've always not disliked him, and I liked Cleveland. I did root for Cleveland because and I wanted Cleveland to win, and I wanted LeBron and Cleveland to win. I liked the Cavaliers since the Austin Carr, Nate. Was it Nate? No, they have Nate. Did they have Nate Thurman? They had Jim Jones. No, it was Elmer Smith, right? I think so. Jim Jones, Elmer Smith. Jim Clemens, Austin Carr. Austin Carr was my favorite. My mom thought Austin Carr was so attractive. I think he was from Notre Dame. Very good basketball player. Yeah. Most people don't know who Austin Carr is. He was a really good shooting guard that was their top scorer for the Cavaliers for 5 or 6 years. It was quite a few years. He was a very good ball player. And they were a consistently good team, losing in the playoffs to the power teams and stuff. But they were good. They had a lot of talent. It's it's NBA. If you didn't win championships, they forget about you. Gus Johnson. There's other ones. There's a lot of really good ball players that people just who you don't know her. Okay, yeah, lots of really good. Most people, Connie Hawkins. You talk about Connie Hawkins, they don't know who you're talking about. One of the best basketball players that ever lived on the planet. He was a really good ball player. But okay, guys, I'm gonna go. We'll talk tomorrow because I'm exhausted. Okay, I love you very much. Peace out.